There we go.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Good evening. This is the Town of Rocky Hill Economic Development Commission meeting, regular meeting, Tuesday, May 13th, 6 PM. The next section is set aside for public comments. This portion of the meeting is specifically set aside for comments from the public who are asked to limit their comments to 2 minutes. Thank goodness, because there's such a crowd. Any person interested in providing public comment remotely should email publicmeetings@rockyhillct.gov prior to 4 PM on the date of the meeting, at which time a link will be provided to attend the meeting as well as instructions on how to participate. Do we have anyone?
Nope.
No. Okay. Next, we have the approval of minutes from our meeting of April 8th, 2025. Did everybody get them, review them? All
Yep.
good?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from April 8th, 2025.
Can I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next, I switched my whole thing. Reading the wrong one. We now have the chamber update. Do you have something from the chamber? Or Ellen, did you go to anything?
They have a business after work coming up on Wednesday at the Wadsworth Mansion in Middletown from
That's
5 to
always a
7.
fun one.
Yeah, I like that one. So I will be going, and I encourage you all to go. It's always a good time. I really like that venue.
Yes. It's beautiful.
So, but I think that's, me and Alan went to the division, Rocky Hill Cromwell combined division at the PGA Tour a week ago-ish.
Yep.
And I had never been there before, and it was really, really beautiful, and the things that they put on to make that event happen every year, and the tourism factor, and like the greenery is just, it's really beautiful, and it was they had a good turnout, of course, and it was a really nice time, so,
Good, beautiful place.
yeah.
Okay, now we're on to the manager's report. So that's all you.
Okay. So we are replacing the banners on the Silestine. It's the same organization that did the original ones that are up there now, the CGI. So they sent over the current, like, mock-up, I guess you could call it. It's going to be in celebration of America's 250th birthday. So it's the red, white, and blue flag with the 250th. So I thought it would be a good idea to get your opinion on what you guys think of the design, and we can go forward with that as long as you guys think that this is good to go. Additionally, I know last year or the year before, there was some issue with people buying up multiple banners, like a business would buy multiple banners, and we are not going to allow that this year for an update.
Do we have enough people who want them to fill the flags?
I think we're also going to include Route 9, businesses on Route 9, if they want to jump in on that. So,
Route
Route
As
what?
an option.
9?
Route 3.
sorry, Route 3, not Route 9.
Okay.
There are businesses on that highway?
Sorry.
Yeah, I started to
Thanks for
think about
catching
that.
me because I didn't even realize
Okay,
I
so on
said
Route
that.
3. Oh, because they're not included now.
No, so it's only Silestine businesses at the moment. So Ray thought it would be a good idea to include Route 3 businesses. So,
That is a good idea,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I like it. I like this.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite times of year. Anyway, I love when the flags go up
I know.
along the parade
yeah,
route.
me too.
I love
I
that.
said that too. It looks really good. It adds like a different aesthetic to the town. So when we're hoping that the flags can go up this summer, maybe around the 4th of July, and they would stay up like all year round, like another year or 2 years. Whenever those start to kind of fade is when we would replace them again. But it's the same person. His name's Albert. He did it last time. I met with him, and he's going to go to the businesses and let them know of what's happening. So,
Very nice.
Good.
yeah. So we like it. Do we have any other comments on the design?
I'm just trying to bring it up
I
again.
have a little one if you want to see it.
Okay. Take your time.
Yeah, that's nice. Question, this isn't related to
this specific program, but it's something that I kind of want to put on the radar that we can talk with the chamber about, and that is the Welcome to Rocky Hill signs.
Yes.
So there's like 3 of them, I believe. Or maybe we could call it 2.5, because I think they're in rough shape. They were formerly the Rocky Hill Chamber of
The
Commerce
chamber
sign.
took care of those, correct?
And I think that, if memory serves me correctly, they still say Rocky Hill Chamber. I don't think it says
Oh,
Middlesex
really?
Chamber on them.
Okay.
I'm
not
but I think the
familiar.
one that's on the Silas Dean, it's like around the entrance to 91. I think it's like
Well, there's one right
been
on
Is it
felled
still
in.
up?
town line.
I think it's been like felled in a storm. Like, I don't know if it's still up, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't say Middlesex Chamber on it. But, you know, I just want to have that conversation maybe with Johanna about how do we get these updated. It's probably not going to be something that the chamber is going to foot the bill for.
Probably not, but we
Probably
can-
Rocky Hill Chamber fundraised for it or got sponsorship on it or something like that. But I think, you know, we know from real estate, like, if you show up to the door of a $500,000 house and the screen door is falling apart, it kind of sets the mood for the rest of it. And I would think that the signs that are the gate, you know, at the doorway to Rocky Hill, you know, it kind of affects the curb appeal.
I wonder if it could say Rocky Hill Division of Middlesex, like big Rocky Hill Division.
Well, I don't think the
of
chamber will
Middlesex
take
Chamber.
on the,
I don't
I
think
don't think
they'll,
the chamber will take on, I mean, we can
No.
ask, but
I can put you in connection to them.
or if they have
Um,
I don't know who has ownership of that responsibility. It's
But
probably
Joanna
the
will
town.
know.
Probably it's the town, if I
Probably
had to
the
guess.
Um,
I have to be
It's
a,
probably
maybe a business
the
group.
Rocky Hill Chamber, you know, either fundraised or whatever to put them up in the first place. And then the town just said, oh, yeah, we'll allow that.
Okay.
But
That's my-
between the town and the chamber, I think we should probably put on the radar to find a way to get those looking.
we should work on that.
Yes, I think that's a, you know, I don't know, it's not, you know, it's not super high priority in terms of the grand scheme of things, but I think, you know, it's
Yeah,
just
I
like
gotcha.
I said, curb appeal for a house,
Right.
you know? And I don't even know if they're all still standing.
I don't think they are. Once
Yeah.
you mentioned it, I thought, I don't know.
Well, there's one that is,
I think there's one right on Town Line Road.
yeah,
There was one there, is it still up? There was one there, there used to be one by
there's
the
one like
exit
across from
ramp.
the Shell station, kinda, in
Okay.
that median between the on-ramp, off-ramp of 91. And that was the one that I
That's
think
the one
has
I'm thinking of.
seen the most damage. But then there's another one that's over by the middle of town. What is it, like Maple or one of those? Anyway,
Okay.
Okay. Great. So I will follow up with you on that and connect you to the chamber, and we will get more information.
So they can say, nope.
say, oh no, that's your responsibility.
That's okay. Any other comments or about the flag? Opinions about the flag? Okay.
Looks good.
Looks
like
great,
it.
yeah.
Yep.
I like it too. I think it's going to look really good.
And I like Annie's Pet Spa. That was the example that you provided.
Yeah, so it was the example that they
Yeah.
sent us, which, right? They're not in business anymore?
No, they are. I like
Oh,
Annie's
they
Pet
are?
Spa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Ava goes there all the time.
My apologies, I'm sorry.
Ava gets her hair done there.
Yeah. Nails.
Okay, going on to the next. As you guys are probably aware, during one of the town council meetings last month, Rocky Hill officially signed on to join the Municipal Redevelopment Authority. So we've been meeting with David Corus and emailing with him back and forth to talk about the next steps into creating a downtown center district. And he's basically asking, what we have so far that kind of makes us what foundation we have to make us a downtown at the moment, and then working with Steve Soplack, Kim Ritchie, Ben Winter, and myself to see where we can go from here to really elevate the downtown and bring it to where it needs to be in terms of development. So we're very excited. So and since it's so brand new, it's kind of an unknown, but there's no like, if it's not working out, if we don't see eye to eye, or if there's something that they want to do that we're not comfortable with, we can basically just like say, hey, you know what, never mind. And there's no like consequence, there's no penalty, there's no fees, there's nothing. So it's kind of like we can get consulting. They have like 70 something consulting people that they work with, and they can kind of make a package and send over like 3 consultants that they think would be a good fit to work with Rocky Hill. So it's really incredible that we get to have like the free consulting as to how we can work with development in the downtown.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're very excited. So obviously I'll let you guys know more as we go. Any questions?
So what's next steps with that? We just wait for them to come back to us with recommendations?
Yeah, so we met in person. We told them about like things that we have happening with like historic districts within the downtown, and the way that the streets are, our visions for like Glastonbury Avenue, and the streetscape that we've been working on, and like working with Weathersfield to bring together the Silestine a little bit better. I'm not really explaining
That's
it.
really important. You know how many people I've seen lately walking with the
Yes.
sidewalks?
Yeah,
Like
it's only
kind
going to
of-
get more.
it's-
With all the
The
more
apartments and things.
apartments at
Yeah.
Stepney.
Right.
That is dangerous too, under that overpass.
We've already had
or-
one fatality, so
Yeah, so it's
Really
just
gotta get
filling him
done.
in on things like that, like our concerns and what plans we have already set for the future to fix those things. Basically catching him up to speed. So he's going to take all the information that we've been feeding him and kind of bring it to like the 70-something consulting people to say like, hey, this is the situation and this is how we're going to work with the planning and zoning to see how we can establish like a district, a new.
Do they like assign in a consultant to work with us, or
She
is it
said
a
they
team of consultants that work to do?
I'm not sure like the details on
Oh,
that
okay.
specifically.
I
Well-
think they have a bucket of money, a big bucket of money,
Apparently.
and that the
guess.
state allocated for them specifically to do more development around like transit-oriented development.
Yes.
And my understanding is, a bunch of towns have signed on, and that money is to be used towards those consultants, towards, let's hypothetically, a town says, okay, we want to move some things around here to encourage development, and we want to offer like subsidized loans to a developer to do X. That's where that money comes in. And I would think that consultant cost comes out of that money too. Or it's just they're employed by the MRDA.
Yeah.
Because I forget, it's like $90 million or something like that.
It'll be nice to see how it develops though, and the ideas that they bring to the table.
Yeah, definitely. So, obviously, we'll keep an update on that with every meeting to see how progress is going. So, all right, next one. We can move on to, similarly, we're working with professors at Southern Connecticut State University. We actually hopped on a Zoom with them yesterday to go over the details of the class that they want to start in the fall. They want to do 2 separate classes where there's a business side where the students tackle the best use of Business Park 2. So they kind of put their minds to it, they form their teams, and they do a presentation with their college education, I guess, like things that they're learning to say, this is what we think is a good use. So it'll give a different perspective. And additionally, there's that's the business side. There's an arts side where they want to help with developing an arts and culture movement. So we've been speaking with them about what activities and events Rocky Hill currently has and how it could be a little bit better. Things that we want to aspire to do, like the public art, like we don't have any sculptures, we don't have murals and things of that sort. So we would really like to see more of that, like creativity, where people can make a bit more art in public in Rocky Hill. So they're gonna, I guess, tackle that. I'm not quite sure because that's more like open-ended. So I'm intrigued to see what they come up with. We'll see. It's, yeah. Okay. Any questions? Okay. And then following up with arts in Rocky Hill, yesterday I officially received the $1,000 grant for Make Music Day. Woohoo!
Oh, good.
So we can use that for marketing materials. We can use that to buy like little instruments to hand out to kids. We also have a performance. Her name is Michelle Urban. She's based out of Wallingford and she plays to kids mostly. And she's going to be performing at the library that Saturday from 2 to 3. So we would have to pay her for that performance, and I double-checked with the Make Music Alliance that we can pay her for the performance, so that would come from the grant money.
So this never really got brought out to businesses, though? Because, I mean, this would have been a really good opportunity to combine our businesses with this,
Yes,
to include them.
I haven't, since I had just
Because we're only a month out. at this
made the
point.
flyer. I just made the flyer about a week
Saw that.
ago, so I would like to go out maybe this week to start promoting that to different businesses. And obviously, if you guys have time throughout your schedules, if you know you're going to pop into a business or two, give them a flyer. And all they really need to do is scan the QR code. If they're interested in hosting as a venue, they can scan it and sign up and pick a time to be like, I'm going to have my business be open from 10 to 2 on Make Music Day if people want to come and make music. So,
Because it would have been kind of
yes.
fun to do like a little map of around town.
Well, that's
Yes.
what the site does.
Does it do it for us?
It doesn't
It
necessarily do a map, but it puts
Once
them
it's
all
registered-
on a map.
Put them all online, yeah.
It'll put it all on a map, yeah.
it should automatically
And have a
like,
calendar.
put it on a map once people sign up. So it's tough to get the word out. It's tough to like let everybody know what's happening, and to officially get people to say yes. Like, yes, I do want to commit to having my business be open, or I do want to commit to performing. But I should be finalizing the schedule for that within the next 2 weeks or so. And once I do that, I can send out another flyer with like a list, like a grand total list of like the different places that you can go to. So, all good stuff.
How many locations if you were to run that list right now, how many locations do you have?
Maybe like 8.
It's pretty good, though.
8.
8 places
Some
around
people
town.
are like, I'm still waiting on decisions from people.
Yeah.
So it's not set in stone. But based on conversations that people seemed interested, it should be around that. And it's better than like 2. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Yeah,
that
that's
it's going to be
It's a
a
start.
good turnout. Like, I'm not expecting it to be like a huge festival because it's
What's the date again?
Saturday, June 21st. And I did tell the police station about karaoke.
I got a great idea. Just saying.
So, and I told the fire department too.
They've got a venue.
Yeah.
As long as there's not a fire
Oh,
in
you
this
know what?
side of town.
I spoke to the fire chief today, and he actually said that somebody was going to come play the piano.
Awesome.
He said their
The
name. I don't
acoustics in
remember.
that room and in the bays is probably great.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So, but they loved it.
Have you
So
tried the
it's-
acoustics in the bay?
It's big. It's open.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I'll give you more information on the next meeting as things are coming along with that. And then, like I said, if you guys have time, it would be a huge help if you could let businesses know that it's happening, and I will try my best as well. And then going off of that, we can talk about the business visitations that we did recently. We did 3, BJ's Warehouse, TK Flowers, and Ani's Marketplace.
Yeah.
So TK Flowers actually joined the chamber. So I've been trying to connect her to the chamber to see if they would do like a little flower arrangement thing. Also, I connected her to Gina at the community center. And Gina said that they just had an event that was similar, so they can't do it like right now, but in the future she says that she definitely wants to use those, that business with their flowers, and she loves supporting the local business.
Great.
So,
Yeah, so Annie's has coffee. She has a coffee bar in there. Did you know
Announcement.
that? Yeah.
and a creme brulee bike, which
Yes.
I'm trying to plug to Parks and Rec. I just asked Logan
I
today.
can't wait to see that.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
I just asked him, I called him and I was like, hey, is there a way that Parks and Rec, like you guys do so many cool events that you could use like a creme brulee bike? so,
Yep.
so I sent him the photo and the website, so we'll see. Do you,
I guess I should Google creme brulee bike. What?
Yeah, well, at first,
Okay,
she had to explain
let me,
it.
Yeah.
sorry. That's kind of what I said too. So it's literally like a tricycle
Yeah.
and it has like flowers on it. And then in the back, like in between the 2 tires is like a fridge, like a little mini fridge
Mhm.
where they pull the creme brulees out of.
Oh,
and then they
okay.
torch it right there in front of you.
Oh.
So, and they
Yeah,
can
my
do
first
different
thought was a whole
flavors. Like,
bike made of creme brulee.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah, so they have like all the different flavors online. You can pick which one you want to do. So it's cute and it's unique. It's really different. So I'm trying to help her with doing the creme brulee.
So what do they do that at catered events or something?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
little
Yes.
events
Say-
that you would have.
Yeah.
that
Okay.
You can actually, it was very interesting to talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We learned a lot there.
we did. We were shocked about the coffee.
Yeah. Coffee bar.
Coffee
Like,
bar.
what? Coffee bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was all 3 of those visits were really cool. I enjoyed every single one.
And BJ's?
And BJ's was when me and Alan toured the warehouse, it was huge and like we were so impressed with the different like temperature ranges that it goes from like room temperature or even like
No,
warmer than
yeah,
that.
it goes from like 70 degrees down
Yeah.
to like negative.
like -10.
And how were the acoustics there, Alan?
All you hear is beeps and all you hear is horns honking and all that stuff because they have 2, if memory serves me correctly, as I don't have my notes with me, they have 280 employees on site,
Wow.
another 110 that drive the trucks around through there. Every 24 hours, they receive and exit from 80 to 130 trucks.
I did see your comment about the traffic on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They're concerned about that too?
Yeah, how's that traffic over there?
So, 'cause
So-
we did drive by one night. I wish I could remember what night it was. Like, was it a weeknight? I can't even remember that. It was on that side. We were coming up the other way. They definitely had the road blocked. for a
Yeah,
while, 'cause
so
it was back-to-back
how long ago
truck.
was that?
Month and a half,
Okay,
maybe?
because our meeting with the, yeah, I forget his title, but they had met with the town like 3 months before that, maybe, or something like that. And these concerns were brought up because the problem is you have all these trucks that come in at night
Right.
and they try to stagger them, but they're bringing supplies from like California.
All over the place, yeah.
So
they can't time it
when you're
perfectly.
so what happens is you have sometimes when it gets backed up more than others, and there's a line for them to be queuing, but sometimes it's a little more. And I think they were very they very much want to be a good neighbor that's not disruptive to the neighborhood, and they understand people's concerns. And so what they try to do as best they can is point out, like, they try to educate the drivers, first of all, to make sure that they're not coming too early. that they're not like parking in the lot next to BJ's that they're not supposed to, and if they are, then they get yelled at, and it becomes a problem for the driver, and so also what they've done is they've increased the staff at their like check-in booth to try to turn
move
through
them all.
trucks quicker. And they seem to think that there had been a lot of improvement since that meeting recently, about that, and also directing where those trucks go, because you got somebody that maybe has never driven there before and they're just following GPS and they end up on a side road instead of the main road coming off the highway. They're going through Enterprise Drive and stuff like that, and so, but they were very much like, look, we want to be good neighbors, like, we don't want to create a burden on like the police having to do traffic stuff more often, because the police, I guess, the police department had offered like, we'll do some more drive-bys and we'll make sure that anybody that's like parking where they're not supposed to or idling for too long or something like that, you know, that they'll be dealt with. But also BJ's was like, look, there's nothing we can do when they're not here. When it's out on the street or down the road or whatever, we can't like leave and go yell at them somewhere else. So
We almost need an extra lane there for the trucks.
they do have another side. Yeah, they have another like side lane where they can queue. But yeah, and they said, you know, business is booming. They have no intention of moving anywhere. So that location distributes all the perishable goods for BJ's from Long Island north. So upstate New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, I don't know if they're in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, but basically all the way up through there. So a lot of stuff goes through there. The acoustics were great in there. It was, no, but it was very fast moving. But there's a couple key things I took away from that is that they have all these employees, next to none of them can afford to live in Rocky Hill. Almost none of the employees live in Rocky Hill.
Really?
It's kind of hard to capture that information too. Like a lot of businesses like aren't
No,
very
they don't necessarily-
positive like where people are coming from, but it kind of, because we had asked that question, like
They didn't know, but they were basically like,
Yeah.
most of them do not.
they come from all over, which makes sense. I mean, since we're in central Connecticut, it makes sense, but it is intriguing to see,
And they're not minimum wage workers.
right,
It's mostly, especially in the warehouse, because they're picking stuff, they're moving stuff around. It's very fast moving.
Yeah.
It's a lot of young people.
gotta be young to do that. Even myself, I'm like, my back would be killing me if I was doing all that stuff.
Yeah. But so that, you know, that was good to know, I think, too. And they said ultimately, if our business keeps growing the way that it is growing, like we're gonna have to look for options for expanding too. Like at some point, if it keeps going at the rate it's going, it's gonna run out of space. And that might be 5 years, 10 years from now. It might be you know, that's not immediately right around the corner, but it's more likely that they're gonna need more space than they're gonna need to downsize.
That's good.
Yeah.
Them.
Yep.
So all good.
Yeah, all good. All right. So I think that's it for business visitations.
Okay. Any other business?
Is she done with her?
Discussions?
Aside from,
thought
I just
so.
have the new Albanian bakery opening at 80 Town Line Road.
Sweet.
They haven't decided on a name yet, so I don't know what that is, but I will try to figure that out from Carrie Wood as soon as I can. But yeah,
That's next to the new Indian restaurant,
yes, next
It
to the new Indian restaurant.
opened at Town Line Diner.
Yes.
Oh, so it's up there? in
It's
that plaza?
where Ming's,
Dynasty.
yeah,
Oh,
Wings
okay.
used to be.
I guess this place is going in where GameStop used to be.
Oh, okay,
So,
Oh,
mistaken. That's cool.
yay.
I didn't even know GameStop had left.
Yeah. So,
no.
Yeah, GameStop.
Yeah,
not
no.
for good, no.
Luckily, you would have been quite upset.
okay. I think that's it.
Great.
Okay, now, any other business or discussion?
No.
Okay, then that's it. Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Night,
you.
folks.
Thank you.